It is Sunday, April 24th, the year 2022. My name is John Molden, owner at Blood, Sweat, and Tears Concrete. I'm here with my co-hosts, Magnus and Carly Molden. Say hi, guys.
Hi.
And this is...
No Crying in Concrete.
Very good. Magnus, do you remember what question we'll be answering this week?
Why doesn't BST concrete
Give
free on-site estimates?
Very good, bud. Why doesn't BST Concrete give on-site estimates? You may have just started to gather estimates for a concrete project, and maybe Blood, Sweat, and Tears Concrete is standing out to you because of the great reviews. Or maybe it's because the website looks nice, the blog is very helpful, and we fit your criteria for a licensed, bond, and insured company. You know, could be any of those reasons, right?
Yep. Or...
So, if so, you may be asking yourself, what is the deal with them not giving free on-site estimates? Don't they think their potential customers are worthy of a realistic on-site bid? All the other guys do it for free. Kind of sounds crazy, doesn't it?
Yeah.
What the heck are we thinking, right? So, Carly, what would the short answer to that be?
We get free over-the-phone estimates.
That's right. We get free over-the-phone estimates. And, you know, we hardly ever do an on-site estimate. But we'll get into that coming up here. So a lot of the other guys still do give free on-site estimates to anyone that wants one. It's been done like that for a long time. We used to do it like that too, but it most certainly was never free. You know, it costs money to put fuel in a vehicle and send somebody out, and it also takes productivity away from a job site or from the office. And all of this has to be paid for by someone. And, you know, in the end, who that's going to be, it's going to be the customer, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's just the way that boils down. So, Carly, do you remember going out to bid work with me when we were still doing the free on-site estimates?
Yes, and I would sit in the vehicle with Mom. And
Your screaming little baby brother?
Yeah, and we'd kind of drive around kind of crazy.
I'm sure, yeah. It wasn't very often, but
when we did go, it seemed like forever.
Yeah, we'd be going out. We'd all try to go out and have dinner, and I'd have to just stop and do a couple estimates on the way, and it always turned into several hours before we got there. But so I mean, you see, the money part of it really isn't the reason why I stopped doing free on-site estimates. The real reason is the time. I was losing all that time, and the most valuable thing we all have is time.
Yeah.
Can you guys agree with that?
Yeah.
Yeah. How we spend that time really does matter. The last thing I want to do is rearrange your schedule and waste your time by coming out and giving you a price that doesn't fit your budget. Especially when I know I can give you a price range really close to it right over the phone. So, Magnus.
Yes.
Do you remember when I used to be gone all day and then return after supper every night?
Not really, Dad. How old was I?
You know, we started doing it back in beginning of 2018 was when I kind of quit going out and doing it. So, what would that have made you? 3? So you're pretty little. Yeah. How about you, Carly?
Yes, I do.
And I know your mom does for sure. A few years ago, I was running around town burning fuel, burning all my time, and it all kept me away from active sites and out of the office. And it made it hard to keep the guys busy full time. You know, the profitability thing of it wasn't even a consideration. It was impossible at that time. So the stress level was completely off the charts, though. I think that was the worst part of it. I just felt like I didn't have any time at all for anything ever. Just like needed to clone myself or something, you know. And my blood pressure was really high then. I was on 2 different kinds of medication. It was really kind of a dark time, actually. But since implementing the over-the-phone estimates, it has been a really amazing transformation. Carly,
Yes.
what do you think of all the over-the-phone estimates I give during the week now?
It probably definitely keeps you busy.
Yeah, it seems like that's all I'm ever doing, doesn't it? Like for...
Yeah, and you'll be like, okay guys, I'm gonna make a phone call, so
Yep.
stay quiet.
Yep, we just line them up all day, and you know, I mean, there's... When you look at how many phone calls we do now to give over-the-phone estimates, it would just be completely impossible to do those all on site. So over the past 4 years, I've gotten really good at using pics that people send us to give really accurate over-the-phone estimates. Once in a while, we find that the price needs to be a little bit higher after Orville goes out to see the site. But for the most part, they're all dead on, or you know, some even come out a little bit lower on price. But Orville does go out to the site for every single job, so it's not like we completely do the whole thing over the phone and we don't, you know, we just show up to start the job. Once I've given you the price range over the phone, if we're in the right budget, I go ahead and write up a couple written estimates, and then once we get everything narrowed down, I create a job folder which I hand off to Orville, and then once it's in Orville's hands, he arranges with the homeowner to do the on-site estimate confirmation, and then from there it's Orville's job then, basically. So Magnus, what do we do every Wednesday and Thursday afternoon now?
Go to conditioning.
Football conditioning, right? Yep. And what else, Carly?
I go to the park with them and practice cheerleading with my cousins.
Yep, because you're going to be in cheerleading. And that's the best part. The kids love seeing Daddy make it to their events. You know, I'll never go back to that circus of running around town like that again. You know, when I finally did get fed up with it back in 2017, I took to the internet and I found a guy who helped me to make my business what it is today. You remember who that guy was, Magnus?
Tom Reaper.
Yep, Tom Reaper. Exactly, bud. I want to thank Tom Reaper, the Contractor Fight, and the program, all the programs that they offer. You folks do some really great work. You guys want to say thank you to Tom Reaper too?
Thanks, Tom Reaver.
Thanks, Tom Reaper.
Thank you, Contractor Fight. Thank you, Bridge Program. Thank you all the rest of the guys there. So, do we have any questions this week?
How long do the over the phone estimates usually take?
Well, the over-the-phone estimates are pretty quick and easy. It's way different than when I used to give on-site estimates, where we'd drive out, do all the measuring, and come back, work up a price, you know, call the people. We'd be in for many hours, you know. Now with the over-the-phone estimates, I can basically look at the pictures that the customer has sent me, and you know, they usually send some dimensions or some sort of a description of the whole thing, and I can kind of work it up in an hour or so before I talk to them. You know, once I get on the phone with the person, it's a half-hour call, and then I've got somebody scheduled every half hour of the day. So I don't hope that answers what you were wondering.
Yeah.
How about you, buddy? What do you got?
I remember that one job we were at, and you went and we had to sit in the truck. You had to go measure some stuff there, and we had to sit in the truck for, it seemed like, for like almost 4 hours or so. And it took so long.
Yeah.
And I remember that time.
Yeah, it was kind of a pain for you guys when you came along, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Marianne, do you think that our potential clients and customers think that this is a good way to go?
So, you know, the vast majority of people seem like they really like it. And after COVID and everything, I'm pretty sure that a lot of people were doing over the phone stuff, you know. It's that we were way ahead. We were a couple years ahead, so we've got the system pretty refined in comparison to what most people had. But the big thing is, and that a lot of people comment on, is that they feel like they haven't wasted any time. They don't feel like they've been put out at all. And once they get their written estimate, they can see that it's a really thorough estimate, you know. I mean, we've done a lot of patios, a lot of driveways, a lot of concrete projects, and based on previous work that we've done, we can give really, really accurate estimates. Mainly because we job cost every job we do within 24 hours. So I mean, we're constantly refreshing, constantly knowing exactly how the jobs came out, and we never fall behind on it ever. So I think that people kind of appreciate that fact.
And I think they also appreciate the fact that they can go to the Calendly link and they can pick a time that works well for them.
That's huge, yeah. And you know, my memory isn't as good as it used to be. So, I mean, just from being in my 40s. Used to have that steel trap, but now it's got a few rust holes in it. But that became a problem when I would tell people I'd call them back at such and such a time, and then phone calls were coming in. I'm trying to answer phone calls and shuffle things around, and I would often forget to call somebody back at the time that I was supposed to, or I'd be on a phone call with somebody else when I was supposed to call back. And this Calendly system, the way it works now, you can either have Savannah line up your Calendly call for you, or you can go online and pick a time that's available. All the times that are open are available. You can click on any one of them, and if you know you're going to be ready at that time and they line up, I'm going to be calling you within 10 minutes of that time. And you know, it's just like clockwork. I mean, it literally is like clockwork. I have to, you know, every half hour there's another call. So just look at who it is and hit the button and call them up. But yeah, no, I think it's a great. We've come a long ways in just figuring out how to handle the volume that we have, and you know, implementing something that really actually does work. You know, and Savannah's been a pretty huge help in all that too, for sure. She keeps things moving in the right direction. You know, there'll always be some people that'll resist it because it's not the way it's always been done. You know, some people just want you to come out and look at their stuff, and we still do offer that option. It's just that we've got the price up to $250 to do it now. If we need to come out and look at it, we're going to charge you $250, and then that will be applied as your first payment on the bill, as long as you go with us within 90 days. So, you know, I mean, that's a risk you have to run. You know, I can always get you a price over the phone, or at least a range. And if you choose not to go that route and you want to pay the $250, that's the route you've chosen to take. We can do that for you. You know, it's just gonna have to work around Orville's schedule at that point, basically. We still do, you know, a few of those a year. When we were charging $150 to do that, we were doing quite a few of them a year, and so we bumped it up to $250 because that's really not how we want to spend our time. You know, it's not about the money. $250 is not an adequate amount of money even when you're away from the process that we have. You know, you're missing out on work. We're having to block out parts of the schedule, and you know, ideally we want to give you a price over the phone. We want to give you that range. We want to have a conversation with you, see what's important about it, and you know, just stick to the process that's worked really well for us for the last several years now. Thank you for taking the time to watch again this week. We will be back next Sunday from the backyard kitchen, answering questions you didn't know you needed to ask about concrete. Remember, there's no crying in concrete other than
The tears of joy brought about by a job well done.
Very good, guys. Say goodbye.
Bye!